Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215, and right now we are in Alabama. We're in the city of Huntsville. We're going to be doing a driving tour of the 5 Points neighborhood. We're 4 minutes away from that area. I just wanted to take you there so you guys can see what we see along the journey. Right now, I believe we're exiting the Twickenham. Is it called the Twickenham neighborhood? I forgot the name of it already. But it was a beautiful little neighborhood. If you watch the downtown Huntsville tour, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's an awesome area. It's called Twickenham. Yes, Twickenham. Gorgeous area. Very, very nice area over here in Huntsville, Alabama. So it's currently 67 degrees. Pretty clear skies. We're passing Randolph. We're traveling on Lincoln Street. So we're gonna make this right-hand turn coming up at Clifton Ave, which will bring us 3 minutes away from our desired destination. We got Temple B'nai Shalom Church on my right-hand side. There's a sign that reads Old Town Historic District. Let's make this right-hand turn because there's no sign that tells us otherwise. Patrolled by Community Watch. Church of Christ on our left. Central Church of Christ. We're in a residential neighborhood. We're approaching Steel Street. We have a holiday display in front of this house on my left-hand side, which shows a pilgrim and some turkeys. Check it out. See it on my left-hand side? They had a full-blown display. Actually, is it a scarecrow? And they even got an M&M, a blue M&M. The blue M&M character. That's cool. We got a lot of beautiful houses on our left and on our right. I like these styles of houses. The neighborhood looks well kept. We're at Smith and Clinton. We're now approaching Calhoun Street, the 100 block of Calhoun. A lot of these houses have little placards in front of them. We got Providence Classical School at East Clinton on our left-hand side with a playground for the kids to play at. A lot of these houses have placards with like a date on them and the name in front of the property. We're at White Street and Clinton Ave. We got a yellow and green fire hydrant on our right-hand side. On our left-hand side, we have some more beautiful Victorian style homes. We got sidewalks on my right, but they got like a 6-foot patch of grass next to them. Passing California Street. We got a smart car on my right hand side, a white one, fellow smart over here in Alabama. Let's make this left-hand turn on Russell Street. We got some Halloween leftover decorations on my right-hand side. Skeletons, pumpkins, and all of that. So now we're entering the 5 Points neighborhood. We're 1 minute away from our desired destination, but we're officially in 5 Points. We have 5 Points Coin Laundry on our left-hand side. Harmony Sound Museum, acoustic and electric instruments and gear. We have a Family Dollar, service cleaners, and so much more. On our left-hand side, like a little plaza. We're passing Wellman. We're still on Russell. We're on the borderline of 5 Points. We're approaching Pratt Ave. We got 1892 East Restaurant and Tavern on our left. Let's make this right-hand turn at Pratt Ave. No turn on red. Let's wait until it turns green. We got Propst Discount Drugs. Propst. Propst Discount Drugs. Five Points Historic District. I see a Hardee's. There's a Hardee's restaurant on my far left. Behind us on our right hand side, there's a Twickenham Antiques store. They sell antiques and whatnot. It looks like they're rehabilitating a house on my right hand side. We also have a post office, a United States Post Office on our left. I don't know if it's inside the pharmacy. See this house on my left? There's a group of men out front that they're working on it. It looks like they're gonna rehabilitate it, bring it back to life. So we have a center island with grass. Let's make this right and just zigzag through the neighborhood. We have Pratt and Coleman. What I liked about this neighborhood when I saw it on the map was that it appears to be a grid. And y'all know I'm a professional at grids. I'm a veteran when it comes to touring grid style neighborhoods because Philadelphia is basically a gigantic grid. So we can just go up, down, left, right. We can maybe we might be able to get done this whole neighborhood because it's a relatively small neighborhood, but it's easy to do because it's grid format. We're at Coleman Street and Wellman Ave. There's no stop sign here, but I'm just gonna slow down, stop because out of habit of nature. We got a Beetle on my left hand side. See it right there? Punch buggy, no punch back. Sock water next to you. I don't care if it's your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, your niece, your nephew, your newborn baby. Give them a little nug on the shoulder. We got garages on my right. We're approaching Clinton Ave. So the border on the west was Russell. We're at Clinton and Coleman Street. The border on the east is Grayson Street. We have three borders on the north, but the most prominent border will probably be McCullough. And on the south, you have Wells Ave. That's the reason why I like grid neighborhoods. Grid style neighborhoods, they're easy to define. We had a giant turkey on my right. Another festive display. We're approaching Randolph Ave. We have a driveway on my right with gravel. They lined the whole driveway with gravel. So is this one on my right, gravel. We're approaching Randolph and Coleman. We got one more block until we hit the borderline, which is Wells Ave. We got a house for sale on my right. Check this out. This house is for sale. The address is 808 Randolph Ave. 808. See how much that's going for. 808 Randolph Ave, and check out this garage. I'm gonna pull to the side. It got functional shutters, y'all. It got functional shutters. Check it out. And it got a double car garage. Give me a price on that. Wow, that's nice. Not worth getting into debt over, but nice. You gotta cash out, y'all. You gotta cash out. At least in my case, that's what I would like to do. We're at Wells Ave and Coleman. We got a cemetery in front of us. This is called the Maple Hill Cemetery. So we're at the borderline, guys. Wells is the borderline. So when you get to the cemetery, you're at the borderline of the 5 Points neighborhood. So we got houses on our left-hand side, but I got a vehicle behind me. So I'm gonna make this left-hand turn. On England Street, we're turning left on England. We got a painting company on my right. McAnally Painting, family-owned business, family-owned and operated. Garage is on my left. This house on my right doesn't have a sidewalk, it has trees. So much so that they made a little tree house right here. Check this little tree house, a little rinky-dink one. But it's cool for kids. It's probably not designed for adults, but they made it out of the existing materials. That's so cool. I give them an A+ for credit for like the thought process, for creativity. They actually used wooden materials that look like they could have been found nearby, and that's probably strong enough to hold a kid. You know, maybe 2 or 3 kids, small kids. But there's no sidewalk there, so that's kind of a bummer. There's no sidewalk on my left either. It's just all grass. You know, on my right, there's not much of a sidewalk either. You're gonna walk through people's grass. On my left, look at, there's not much of a sidewalk either. The sidewalk is grass. They have a little walkway to go to the front of their house. You see on my left? There's a walkway to go to the front of the house, but 5 Points Williams Bailey, 1927. We're at Clinton Ave and England Street. So these blocks have sidewalks, but the blocks that we're on, so these blocks as in left and right of where we're at, but these blocks, we have what looks to be a jogger right here on my left. She smiled at us. Must be a friendly town. She had a headset, some ear pods, and she had her spandex and running clothes on, so she was probably jogging, hence the headset. You listen to music and jog at the same time. Check out this brick entrance. It's a fortified mailbox. We're at England and Wellman. We're midway through 5 Points. This house on the corner has a double car garage, a nice little chunk. You see that? The houses are relatively close to each other. Oh wow, a wasp was trying to smack the window. They're relatively close to each other. Do you guys mind living this close next to someone? Or would you like more space? Look how close they are. I don't know, that's a little bit too close for my taste. And then the grass is pretty much shared. Somebody separated their property. Look on my right, they separated their property too. There was an older couple sitting on the porch, probably staring at me, wondering what I was up to. Alright, so this is Pratt Ave. Pratt Ave is a main avenue that runs through the 5 Points neighborhood. We're at Pratt and England Street. Well, I see a yellow and orange fire hydrant. That's interesting. I've seen about 3 or 4 different fire hydrant coloring or themes throughout Alabama. We're at Pratt and England, entering the 300 block of England. Look at this sidewalk. They lined the sidewalk with a little black fence. You see it? A little black fence. So you can't even walk on that sidewalk. You literally got to walk on the street. We got a gentleman on my right smoking a cigarette and talking on the phone. We have 2 women crossing the street in front of us. Look like they're taking their afternoon walk. Alright, we're at the intersection of Ward Ave and England Street. This is the most sane that I've felt doing driving tours since probably like Baltimore, because of the grid. We're at Burn and England. Now if we go up a block, halfway through the next block until you hit McCullough is the borderline. But it builds up like a step, because halfway through the next block on my left hand side before you hit, how you say this? O'Shaughnessy Ave? I'm sorry, I stutter, so I'm sorry. O'Shaughnessy. Oh man, this is a good one. Let me spell it for y'all. O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy Ave. O'Shaughnessy Ave. Yeah. So there's like a little step perimeter. I mean, technically the grid goes all the way up until like Oakwood, and another several blocks up it continues. However, that's not classified as the 5 Points neighborhood, unfortunately. It might be a part of, there's a neighborhood around the corner called the California Subdivision. You got the High Mountains Estates, you got the Hawk Ridge neighborhood, you got the Mountain Slopes neighborhood, and so on. But 5 Points cuts off in the middle of the next block. So let's make this right hand turn. We're gonna do our best to stay within 5 Points. It's a pretty wide street. It's two-way as you guys can see. Some lawns are wide open, some lawns are fenced off. Let's make this right on Lacey Street. We're in Bernie and Lacey. So these side blocks don't have sidewalks, just the main blocks. Got a garage on my right, stuck in the mud pottery studio. Cool, they turned their garage into a pottery studio. That's nice. Cool way to pass time in an area like this, because in an area like this, you may need to pass time. There goes the two walkers on my right, the two females that were taking a stroll. We're at Ward and Lacey. We're gonna cross the street. We got a trailer on my right. Got a bunch of wood in it. Passing some acorns. Probably fell from the tree. So right now we're traveling southbound. Behind us is northbound. On our left is eastbound. On our right is westbound. So right now we're doing southbound, northbound. Once we do all the southbound, northbound, which will probably be completed in about a block or two to the left, then we'll do westbound, eastbound. So y'all can see the cross blocks, which have sidewalks. Look at this little display right here of plants. It's like a whole sculpture of little pots with different plants. That's decent. That's decent. That's creative. Then they got a bird right up top. Another set of cool points for creativity. All right, so we're at Lacey and Wellman Ave. All right, we got a house on my right-hand side that has, is that broken windows? Yes, the second floor has broken windows. The shutters aren't functional. That looks like it could have been a little apartment complex. That's probably the building that appears to be in the worst shape. Yeah, broken windows all throughout the side. It looks vacant. People might not be living in it. It did have an air conditioner in it and a central cooling unit. That was probably the worst looking building I've seen in this neighborhood. This is a nice building. I like the driveway. You got a double car garage. It's bricks. You got a tad bit of vinyl siding. You got a nice piece of grass. It's a nice property. Nice property. We're at Lacey and Clinton. We got another group doing some work on my right hand side. Are they gardeners? Let me see. They might be doing, no, they're electricians, because there's electrician vehicles out front, residential and commercial. We have two gentlemen who waved at us, so that was a friendly gesture, so I beat back at them. Yo, we passed a really huge garage on our left. They waved at us, so I beeped at them. So far, we've had two people that waved at us as we were driving by, so it appears to be a pretty friendly area, which is cool. It's nice to live in a friendly area. Now, upon a little Google search, we're at Wells Ave and Lacey Street. There didn't seem to be any really bad neighborhoods that were classified as like dangerous. There was areas that a few people said to avoid, like at nighttime and all, because of quote unquote high crime. We're passing Girard Street, Wells Ave and Girard Street. However, wow, look at this house right here. This house right here is interesting. Let's reverse, because I want to show you the little details that's on this house. Like, I pay attention to the details. So you see this house right here? You see the different coloring that's up top, white, red. Then you got the little gold. Then you got the little swirly floral woodwork. That reminds me of like some Switzerland stuff right there. Then you got the wooden fence that I guess makes a front drive parking slot. That's a little feng shui looking house. Yeah. All right, so we're at the borderline, Wells Ave. Let's make this left on Minor Street, Wells and Minor. Look, we got an RV on my right-hand side. It's a trailer, towable trailer, and they have a boat right next to it. So you see some of the homeowners, these look like back alleys. Look like they got back alleys. Some of the homeowners do fence off their property. You see there's fences on my right, fences on my left. But it doesn't look like everybody worries about fence. I would probably be one of the ones that would fence my property, but I would do it tastefully. Some of them are like way off to the street side. I installed a nice fence, not like a tacky fence. 5 Points Kings, 1947 on my right. See, some of the houses have posts on them. This looks like it could be an apartment. And it's a 2-car garage, but they got a first and second floor with a set of steps. It's a nice looking little apartment. It's not too shabby. Not too shabby, in a nice neighborhood. This is located 4 or 5 minutes away from downtown, so that's cool. There was a bunch of pumpkins thrown out there and paint. them cans of paint probably still have paint in them. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe. We're at Minor Street and Clinton Ave. So here's a little money saver secret. Speaking of paint, we just drove by paint. Many of you may know this, but if you don't know this, go to Home Depot and go to the paint that there's like on clearance. It was basically returned, or it was an error. It wasn't to code, so they make a shelf of unwanted paints, colors that people didn't want, but they're marked down. They're a lot cheaper. You can buy those paints to, like, you know, do little touch-ups on your house. We're at Minor and Wellman Ave. Pretty much custom paints. Custom paints that people ordered and didn't come up to their liking. They'll get them to remake another paint, or they'll return it. Even like return paints. Those are usually marked down a little bit cheaper. Now the main colors, whites, blacks, grays, those main colors won't be that cheap because they're universal. Anybody can use them. Look at this little, so they cut off a tree. This is so creative. Wow. They cut off a tree. They left the stump. The roots are still in the ground. But they use a bunch of materials to make it look like it's a little miniature Smurf house and or like a dwarf house, like a little gnome, a tree gnome house. And they got a front door, they got the windows, they got a gnome jumping out of the second floor, well, what's supposed to be the second floor window. And it even has like roof shingles. It got like a little community of, well, it reminds me of Smurfs. Literally reminds me of Smurfs. They're not blue, so it's probably not Smurfs. It's probably like little gnomes. But that is such a cool display right there. That's an awesome display and a great reuse of a tree stump. You know what I mean? That is decent. That's decent. Yo, this neighborhood getting so many cool points. 5 points in Huntsville, Alabama. It looks like a peaceful area. We're at the 1200 block of Pratt Ave. Driving northbound on Minor Street. Yeah, it looks like such a peaceful area. The garage on my right. Oh man, that's the haven for me. That's where I'm doing all my mad scientist work. Ward Ave and Minor Street. For sale on my left. The dogs for sale. We'll see it later. There's a female walking 2 dogs on my left. 2 cute dogs. Little guys. Alright, so we got a leaf on the hood, you see it? So we're at Bernie Ave. The next block, remember, is McCullough. But halfway through this block in front of us is the borderline. That's weird that they will make the borderline halfway through a block instead of just taking it up to McCullough Ave. But I'm not the planning commission, so. This brown house on my left with the red shutters are nice. The shutters aren't functional. It would have been sweet if the shutters are functional, but still nice. Got some 1-story houses to my left, 1-story houses to my right. So now we're at the border, guys. This is the border on the east, because the border on the west is Russell. The border on the east is Grayson. We're on the 500 block of Grayson and Bernie. If we go any more forward, we will no longer be in the 5 Points neighborhood. I'm uncertain what the neighborhood next to us is named. The only other name I see is the California subdivision. So I wonder, look at this little dog hanging out the window, Chihuahua. That's pretty cool. Little tiny dog hanging out the window. How many of you guys like Chihuahuas? I like Chihuahuas. I like all dogs, but I like Chihuahuas. Here's the female walking her dog again. She don't think that we're stalking her. We're not stalking you, lady. We're admiring your pooches. Alright, we're at Grayson and Ward Ave. There's a speed meter right here. It says your speed. That's crazy. I guess they want you to slow down through here. It's interesting that they got a neighborhood called the California subdivision in Alabama. That's crazy. Alright, so we're on our last block before we start doing westbound, eastbounds. We got Pratt and Grayson. We're at the intersection of Pratt and Grayson. We got a house on my right. It looks like they're building it. Guild Builders. There's some guys out back. It looks new. It got the new window stickers on it. The lawn isn't even finished. I don't know. It looks nice. It's a new home. If they gave it to me, I'll use it. I'll utilize it. But I prefer the earlier homes, the ones that were more original and more like historic looking. When it comes to this neighborhood, at least. We're at Wellman Ave and Grayson Street. We're passing Franken Alley. Franken. Instead of Franklin, Franken. Wow, the sidewalk on my right was overgrown to the max. But it was like a little path, like of grass that was stepped on. Well, this tree to my left has a lot of leaves growing on it. Like those leaves that have vines that grow up the tree. Look at that. Wow. They didn't peel it, they just let it grow wildly. All right, we're on Grayson and Clinton, passing Clinton. A car right here just exited their driveway, which is on my right. That white vehicle came from the garage on my right. We're at Randolph and Grayson Street. Randolph and Grayson. So right off the back, I'm gonna tell you guys that I like this neighborhood. This is a cool little neighborhood. It's a cool little neighborhood right here. We're at Wells and Grayson. Wells is the border. I'm gonna make this right-hand turn. This is pretty neat. The houses are a little bit too close for my taste. I wish they were a little bit more far out. Wow, we had 2 row homes over here. Holy smokes. I gotta reverse and show you guys this. There's 2 row homes over here in Alabama. Look at this. They got 2 row homes. Yo! With shutters and all. Yeah, that's cool. It's crazy because not all states have row homes. We're passing Minor and Wells. So we're going to go all the way to the border on the west and then come back and go up and go on the east and vice versa. So the states that have row homes, we're at Girard and Wells Ave. To my knowledge, or the cities I should say, because not all states have row homes. Anyway, we're passing Lacey. I believe Philadelphia, obviously, Camden, Baltimore, New York, we're passing England, Chicago, we're passing England and Wells. We have the cemetery on our left, and San Francisco, California. And was there another one? We're passing Coleman. I said Chicago. I think that's about it. Oh, Boston, Massachusetts, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, that's about it. Let's make this right on California Street. But not every state has row homes. So, yeah. Let's make this right on Randolph. Now we're going to take it to the east. We're on the border. There's a house for sale right there on the left. Is it a house or is it a land? Is it land? International Realty. Oh, it might be land. It's right in front of an empty lot, so they're selling that corner lot. I wouldn't want to live on the corner property, to be honest, unless like I'm near like a forest or something that's like for sale. Am I right? New price for sale. Oh, I got a new price. I wonder. Did I point at that? I think I pointed at. And then yeah, Randolph and Coleman. Yeah, if I'm in a spot like this, I would probably want to be in like the middle of a block. I wouldn't necessarily want to be at the edge. If you look straight ahead to the top of the picture, you probably can't make it out, especially if you're on a mobile device. But if you're on a TV, you might be able to make it out. You can see like a mountainscape of trees. We're passing England, which is a nice view. So to my older folks who may not be able to watch this on their TV, because you're probably watching on a mobile device like a tablet, a cell phone, you might be watching on a computer. If you're uncertain of how to project YouTube onto your television set, a lot of smart TVs come with the YouTube, Netflix option. We're passing Lacey. We had a jogger on my right hand side. A lot of smart TVs, if you have a smart TV, it comes with that option. So you can click YouTube, open up the app on your smart TV, and watch this on your smart TV. However, if you don't have a smart TV, there's other ways you can do it. You can mirror a laptop and or sometimes your mobile device. Like if you have an iPhone or something, we're at Minor and Randolph Ave. You can buy a HDMI wire and project it to your television set. That's one option. Or if you have like a console, a game console, like an Xbox or a PlayStation. Look at these houses on my right. They kind of look real home-ish. We got little one-stories on my left. We got a speed bump. Let's cross over the speed bump. Bump it up. Yeah, so if you have a TV and you have a console like a PlayStation and Xbox, we're at Grayson and Randolph. Let's make this left-hand turn. If we go any more forward, we'll be out of the 5 Points neighborhood. So we're gonna stay here and go straight up and then make a left at the corner. We're at the eastern portion. We're gonna go to the western portion on the next block. We're gonna take Clinton to the west. If you have a PlayStation or an Xbox, you can plug that to your TV, use the YouTube app, and watch it on your TV. That'll give you a bigger view, you know what I mean? Now, if some of my older folks probably don't have a big TV, then I understand. You might have like a little, like a 13-inch, you might have a 27-inch, 36, or I don't know what size TVs go in nowadays. We're at Minor and Clinton, but that's just a little tip, you know, because I know some of my folks watch it on a tablet or watch it on a cell phone. If that's the case and that's your only option, then that's perfectly fine. You can use your glasses. They have like projection devices where you can use on a phone. It'll project the screen, it'll magnify it. We're at Lacey and Clinton. But we got, look at that, a Sprinter on my right. That's a RV, a mobile RV unit. That thing is nice. It's small, it's tiny, but it's nice. Yeah, and if you don't want to buy, you don't have to buy a brand new PlayStation. We're at Clinton Ave and England Street. You don't got to go buy a PS5 for $500-600. No, you can get a used PlayStation 4. We got a house for sale on my left. Let me see. Is it a house or is it a lot? Oh, it's a lot, guys. Look at, there's a lot that's fenced off right here that's for sale. See it? Berkshire Hathaway. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a car behind me. We're approaching Coleman. There's the female on my right, the jogger. She looks like she's texting. Now we're gonna reach the western borderline, which is Russell. Let's make this right-hand turn on Russell Street. Yeah, so you can get a used PlayStation 4. I think PlayStation 3 even has YouTube also. You can download the YouTube app for PlayStation 3. I haven't used it in a while, but I do remember watching YouTube on PlayStation 3. It's a different experience than on PlayStation 4. PlayStation 3, the reason why I'm recommending PlayStation 3, because PlayStation 3 is cheaper. Let's make this right on Wellman Ave. We passed the 5 Points Plaza on my left. Let me drink a little bit of moisturizing because I'm quite parched. There's a house for sale on my right. Quite parched, is thirsty. In case anybody didn't know that. This house is for sale on my right. Let me bust a U-turn so y'all can see it. The address is 902. The price is reduced, so I wonder if it's reduced because people don't want to live here. This is Wellman Ave. So look up 902 Wellman Ave, Huntsville, Alabama. Price is reduced. I wonder why. Maybe people don't want to live in this area. There's a property for lease on my right. Maybe people don't want to live here. Or maybe there's something wrong with the house. But we just saw like 3 or 4 houses for sale in this area. Maybe people tired of the small town vibe. You know what I mean? They're probably tired of the small town nature to it. Like Coleman and Wellman, they probably seek a more thriving environment, or maybe they want to go to a big city. So yeah, the reason why I was mentioning PS3 or PS4 is because you can plug it up to your TV and use the app, and boom. And you could probably get a PS4 used on OfferUp for like $80, 100, 150, I don't know. England and Wellman. And if that's out of your budget, then I understand. This is just a suggestion, because you don't only got to watch my videos on your TV, but you can watch, like, you can explore. You can now have YouTube on your television set, and you can see everything a lot larger. That's what I do. I use YouTube on my television set. I can access YouTube from my computer or from my phone, but the television set gives me a larger experience than I would if I watched it on my phone. We're at Lacey and Wellman. Some videos for me are designed for television. Like, they don't technically design the segment you're watching for television, but it's a lot better experience if you watch it on the television. I think this right here, these driving tours and the walking tours, would be a cooler experience if you watch it on the television, because you can see it, you know? We're at Minor and Wellman. We're 1 block away from the eastern borderline. Got a porta potty on my right for the guys who are working on the house. We saw several houses being worked on too. We're at Grayson, Wellman and Grayson. This is the borderline, so we're gonna make a left-hand turn. We're gonna be next to the main avenue shortly. Pratt Ave, 1400 block of Pratt Ave. Let's make this left-hand turn and take Pratt Ave straight up. Now this is the main avenue. This is the main avenue that is slightly off-center, but it's pretty much in the center of the 5 Point neighborhood. It's 5 Point. I think I said 5 points earlier. Is it? No, it's 5 points. We were actually blocking the S. There's 5 points. The 5 Points neighborhood. So it's the main avenue. As you can see, it has that center island, and it's a two-way separated. Passing Pratt and Minor. Passing Minor. We're traveling up Pratt. We got a baby crib on my right. It was disposed of. Speed limit is 30 miles an hour. I'm doing 19. Let me slow it down more for y'all. We're passing Lacey. We got a car behind me. I can't go that slow. We're doing 15 miles an hour right now. We got sidewalks. We're passing England. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning sidewalks, if you're a completely brand new viewer and you just watched my video today and you're wondering, why is this guy telling me the obvious? Obviously, there's sidewalks. Well, if you haven't watched a lot of my other tours, we have over 600 plus tours on this channel. Over 500 of them are specifically in Philly. We're passing Coleman. We're on Pratt. Well, in a lot of the other towns that we went to, like Georgia, some areas in Florida, some areas in Alabama, some areas in Virginia, some areas in North Carolina, South Carolina, stuff like that, they didn't have sidewalks. So I like to point out those little differences. And if you're a regular viewer, then you're like, oh yeah, wow, now I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. We can make a right on red, so let's make this right. We're at the borderline, so this is the western borderline, Russell. Now a block halfway to my left is still considered 5 points. Which is weird, like how they do half blocks to like consider it a part of the area, but we're just gonna keep it stylish and keep it like a grid and keep it just with the little rhythm and routine we've had going on here. We're at Coleman Street, Ward Ave and Coleman Street. Oh snap, this house right here is cool. Let me reverse it for y'all. It's cool because it's bricks. It got wooden doorways. It got a nice driveway. The driveway, I like the work they did on the driveway. like the materials. This is a tough house. Tough, as in cool. That's a nice little house. Let me pull a little closer so that you guys can get a closer view. Look at the materials. I love the garage doors being wood. That's decent. And I love the brick. That's a nice house. The rooftop shingles are black. Cool. And I like that little balcony. They had a little balcony over the garage. Oh man. Talking about gorgeous. Alright, we're approaching England. I swear I've been stopping at every corner like if there's a stop sign, but there's really no stop signs. But I do it out of habit when I'm in a oh, there's an antique car in the driveway. We didn't see that antique earlier. Somebody just pulled out an antique, but it's covered. It's under a cover, so you gotta do it out of nature, out of habit. Let's slow down because you never know who's coming fast. We're at Ward and Lacey. 300 block of Lacey, 1200 block of Ward. We got a little trailer on my right, a scamp. You see it on my right? A little tiny RV trailer. There's a house for sale on my right. Open Sunday 2 to 4 for sale. Let me point to it. There's a Winnebago on my left. I didn't even notice at the last minute. The address is 1214 Ward Ave, Huntsville, Alabama. That's for sale. In case anybody wants to move here. We got a gentleman on my right cleaning the lawn. There's another one for sale across the street, right? Well, next to it. They blowing the lawn with leaf blowers and all that. So that goes to show you, we're passing Minor and Ward. We're 1 block away from the border. Wow. 2 houses next door to each other that are for sale. We passed a nice 2-story home. There was a big 2-story home on the left. We're at Grayson and Ward. This is the borderline. Grace is the borderline. So let's take this 1 block to our left. Alright, remember, we're at Bernie or Burn, B-E-I-R-N-E. It's Burn. Yeah, Burn. It could be Bjorn, but it's Burn. It could be Bernie if you want to pronounce the E, but I think the E silent. So it's Burn. The next block, halfway, is the border. Halfway through the block, but we're not going to go halfway because that's unnecessary. Let's make this left-hand turn on Burn. We're traveling westbound. Behind us is eastbound. On our right is northbound. On our left is southbound. Alright. We're at the intersection of Minor and Burn. Lobster Fest, November 13th. Somebody loves lobsters enough to put that picket sign right in front of their house. They want everybody in the neighborhood to know about Lobster Fest. We're passing Lacey and Bernie. We got a little Mazda Miata on my right, a convertible. I love it. If it was 5-speed, that'll be neat. If it's automatic, you can keep it. Alright, we're at England and Burn. We're 2 blocks away from the border. We're approaching Coleman and Burn. 400 block of Coleman, 1000 block of Burn. Burn is also an Ave. Burn Ave. We got an Essential Church on my right hand side. That's literally the only church I've seen in this neighborhood. I guess you don't need a lot of churches for a neighborhood. Some neighborhoods that I toured to be having like 9 churches in one neighborhood. It's like, wow, so many churches, so many denominations, so much competition. Who goes to what on what day, you know what I mean? All right, so in front of us, 75% of this block is considered 5 points. And that's spelled out F-I-V-E, it's not the number 5. Let's go forward. Because on our right, it's actually, remember I said that it's in the beginning of the tour, I said that the neighborhood goes up like steps. So this little corner portion, there's like 2 or 3 blocks over here that's still considered 5 points. Like this block right here is considered 5 points until you get right here. We're outside of the highlighted zone. We're at Andrew Jackson and 5 Points. We got a Memorial Southern Methodist Church on my left-hand side. I'm gonna make this right. We got a Domino's. I see a Domino's on my left and a Texaco gas station. Right here on my left, we got an Advanced Auto Parts. We got a Redstone Federal Credit Union. We got a Stained Glass Design Center on my right. That's cool, Design Center. Stained glass is nice. McCullough Ave. Let's make this right. Because technically, boom, this block right here is 5 points. Y'all didn't see this block at all because I stood away from this little corner portion because of the way the mat was designed. But this is 5 points. Wow, look at that, parked on grass. We don't have much of a sidewalk here. We're at Russell Street. Russell and McCullough Ave, the 700 block of McCullough. I can go forward another 2 blocks. We go forward another 2 blocks. Oh, look at this Mint Classic on my right. Look at that Classic. I don't know if y'all can see it. It looks like an MG. You see that red car on my right? It's a Classic. Is it an MG? I don't know. It's probably like an older European car, some type of European car. We got a jogger on my right. Look at this top of the skyline. You see the mountains with the trees. Look at this gentleman jogging, staying healthy. McCullough Ave and Coleman Street. 1 more block, and then this is the end of the 5 points. If we cross over, we won't be at 5 points anymore. We got a cool little Honda Fit on my right. It's faded like heck. Alabama sun didn't do it justice. We got 2 lovely young elder women right here having a chat. They waved. Wow, a lot of people wave all over here. Let's make this left. We're England and McCullough. That gentleman right there is walking a dog, little tiny dog. All right, if we go forward, we're outside of the 5 points neighborhood, but we gotta go left. But guess what? We're gonna have to do what we're gonna have to do. Half of this block is considered 5 points. So we go to right here, the outline stops, right? It stops. This supposedly, I say supposedly because I'm going off of a map here, is no longer considered 5 points. But if we go left, this is O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy. There's that block in the beginning that I was having trouble pronouncing. If we go left here on O'Shaughnessy, this isn't 5 points, right? This is not considered 5 points until we get to the corner. We're gonna keep going forward, we're gonna keep going forward, we're gonna keep going forward. Notice how they got these center circular things that you're supposed to pass? Boom. Once we get to this corner, this is Coleman and O'Shaughnessy, the 1000 block of O'Shaughnessy. We're gonna go to right here. We're back in 5 points. So I don't know why they would design a neighborhood like that. Like, why not just keep it like a complete perfect square? If you're gonna go through all that trouble to keep it a complete perfect square. So these people that live in these 1 or 2 blocks over here are actually still considered 5 points. And there's 1 more block in front of us, and then there's a block to our right. That's a set of 2 blocks to our right that is considered 5 points. We just passed Russell. Remember, Russell was the western borderline? Well, over here it extends to Andrew Jackson Way. We got Mario's 5 points on our left. What is Mario's? Is that like a restaurant? Mario's. We got several businesses going up and down Andrew Jackson Way. We got United Way on my right. United Way, I remember going to them for childcare certifications and learning classes. Cunningham Wholesale Flowers on our right. Flowers and Gifts. Bedrock Property Management on my right. State Farm Insurance on my right. O'Reilly's Auto Parts on my left. We're on Humes. Humes or Humps, H-U-M-E-S. That sounds like Humes to me. And this is the last block. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Humes isn't even considered. Let's bust a U-turn. So it was halfway through. It's pretty much one of them half a blocks. And let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Because Humes isn't in the border. Look at that. Oh, that was a gorgeous vehicle on my right. Old school, gorgeous. East Huntsville Church of Christ on my left. Let's make this right. This isn't considered 5 points. But midway through this block, I'm gonna show you where. Right around, slow down, right around here. This is where 5 points begins. Ooh, we got an El Camino on my right. That's decent. We got a coupe Mazda on my right. We got an older gentleman. Looks like he's of the medical field, caring for life. He just took off his mask. Look at this house on my left right here on Ognacy, or whatever it's called, O'Shaughnessy or whatever, and Russell. Look at this building right here. That's a nice building. It looks presidential. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have covered the whole entire neighborhood. I can literally say, I haven't said this in a long time. We just covered the whole entire neighborhood of 5 points in Huntsville, Alabama. I feel relieved. It's been a long time. I should have left you without enough time. Step two, step two, step two, step two. If at first you don't see, remember Aaliyah? Remember, or is it Maya? No, it's Aaliyah. Yeah, Aaliyah, right? Anyway, guys, so we just completed a neighborhood tour in Alabama. Wow, refreshing. Next to the Airport Highlands and because Airport Highlands was a disaster. If you haven't checked out my Airport Highlands tour in Birmingham, Alabama, check that out. That was a disaster. It did not live up to my expectations. Let's just say that. I think I did that whole neighborhood too, because there was barely any neighborhood to do. But we did the whole neighborhood, guys. So this is going to conclude the tour of the 5 points neighborhood over here in Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you for watching. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Show some love. Leave a comment in the comment section. Wow, there's a little Thomas Fruits and Vegetables shack right here on my left. See it? But it's not considered part of. It's 1 block shy. Yo, there's a speed. Look at, there's a your speed thing right here. See, y'all be wondering what speed Tune be doing. Tune, you out. Tune, you out. Look at, this is 10 miles an hour. This is what 10 miles an hour look like. If I speed it up, this is what 12, 13 miles an hour look like. You see that? Wow, they literally had a speed radar, a speed trap in the middle of the block. This is your homeboy Tune. Please consider subscribing and hitting that thumbs up button. Mr. Tune Dollars. Tune be chilling. Y'all know, y'all can call me Alabama Tune right about now. And I am tuning out.